Hey everybody, welcome to yet another fabulous episode of Queer 101. I'm Peppermint.
And I'm Hugh the Historian.
That's right, and we are bringing you a fantastic episode. We are so happy to be back. If first of all, no matter what, right out the gate, please just go ahead and subscribe to this so that you do not miss another video from us at all, because there's going to be some fantastic stuff coming down the lane. Also, like and share this video with all of your friends, everyone in the land, so that you will know exactly what's up. We're going to jump right in. I'm so excited about this episode because it kind of coincides with some other stuff that is going on in the news right now. Of course, we are we are going to preview our book later on, but before we get to do that, Hugh, how have you been? What have you been up to? What's been going on with your life, darling?
Oh, it has been a great, slide into the end of summer for me. I've been hanging out on our Kiki Discord for a little bit, chatting with some of our members about last month's pick, Rosa Nazari's
Lies and Deceit.
All the Parts We Exiled. No lies, no deceit, all truth, beautifully told. And we are looking for y'all to come and let us know. What did you respond to? What is your truth? Tell us about your memoir and what you thought of Rosa's book, because we thought it was incredible. If you have not yet listened to that episode, please listen to this one and then go back and listen to that one. It has been a wonderful time talking to her, and now getting into some real exciting news of my own. Last month, right before this episode got taped, I sat down and had a table read, which I've never done before. I know this is something you know a lot about, but this is a whole new world for me as an actor, for the XR augmented version of my book, When Brooklyn Was Queer, which we're actually right now turning into this three-dimensional experience that you see through a headset and participate in. We have a whole script that is set. I love this. So my book covers 150 years of Brooklyn's history, right? And smartly, Wadua Wali, the woman who's in charge of this whole thing, who brought this whole package together, was like, we need to focus in on where the beautiful stories are that are relevant to right now. And she's been working with this great playwright, Agnes Berinsky, this director, Yasmin Elayat, and they have settled us in 1890s Coney Island in the world of fabulous drag kings. So that's
Do you
what
think
we are
I can't
doing.
wait to see that?
I'm just waiting for when we have a part for you, because I want you in this show, because not only is it about drag and performance and acting and history, it's also about politics and identity and what it meant to be a white king versus a black king in the 19th century, what it meant to be a queer person living on the streets, what it meant to do all of these things and be recognized for them. And it's going to be so incredible. I cannot wait to share this with people, and it's going to be a musical. We've got songs, we've got dance, we've got tap, we've got everything. And a great cast coming together too. So that has been taking up my time. By the time you're listening to this podcast, we will have finished the table read, and hopefully we'll be into development. That's been a lot of my summer. It's amazing, and I'm getting to see your performance world, what it's like out there. It's scary and freaky, but I'm learning. How about you? What have you been up to?
You got to jump right in. I'm also, speaking of musicals, I'm really excited. I had a great summer, but I'm really excited about next month on October 20th. I'll be a part of an all-trans and non-binary, probably for the first time ever, cast of The Drowsy Chaperone, hilarious musical comedy that will be staged in New York City at Carnegie Hall. And I'm excited about that. And so everybody's invited.
Have you ever performed at Carnegie Hall before? Is this your first time there?
I have performed there once, but it's never been featured like this or like a solo thing. It was like a group thing and kind of like a, they let the community use it for free kind of thing. And so this will be nice to actually be a ticketed event,
Oh.
And so we'll see. I'm excited. It's a wonderful cast, and I can't wait for everybody to come out. So if you're going to be in New York City around October 20th, please come on out. Make sure you get tickets sooner than later. I think tickets are either they're certainly on sale by now. So check it out.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Who else is going to be in it? You said all trans cast?
Yeah, it's an all trans cast. Myself, Laverne Cox, Jocelyn DeFries, just an all-star cast. It's going to be
That
fantastic.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I will be in the
Yeah.
audience. I hope a lot of you listening are also buying your tickets right now because it's certainly going to be sold out soon. So get those tickets. Whew. Should we let everybody know what we've got coming up for the rest of the year before we get into today's podcast?
Yes, we absolutely should.
All right. So, our books for the rest of the year, for those of you listening, what's coming down the pipeline to you? Marsha! Finally! The biography we have all been waiting for on Marsha P. Johnson, written by I think maybe the only person who really could write this book, Tourmaline, who is an absolute and total genius. I cannot
Such
wait.
a sweetheart as well.
Ugh. So
Genius
smart,
and a
so
sweetheart.
sweet. Yeah, and such a great artist too. It's like a little bit unfair that she does so many things so well, but like what a fantastic book. Y'all are gonna love it. That's in September. In October, we've got Sick and Dirty with Michael Koreski, a history of Hollywood. Yeah. And in November, we've got Bargain Witch, a little spookiness for the fall by Brooke Palmieri.
What'd you call me?
Spookiness, not spooky bitch. It's going to be good.
Ow!
We're gonna have a good fall.
It sounds like it's going to be. Oh, that is fantastic. You all, I mean, listen, don't forget to let us know in the comments and also on our Kiki Discord what types of books you'd like to see from us as we move into the fall. You know, it's like, on one hand, I'm like, let's do things that are like more political. On the other hand, I'm like, let's do things that like escape and fantasy. And so like, what are you all thinking? Like, you know, let it be known, honey.
Yeah, are books an escape or are they a way right back into the politics? They're both. Let us know what you think.
100%. Now, today we're going to be talking with our fabulous guest author, Nathan Lents, who is the author of The Sexual Evolution. And you know what? Because this is so stupid. I remember one of my favorite songs from Macy Gray, who, you know, I'm kind of over Macy Gray right now because she took a little anti-trans break for a moment.
I hadn't heard about that.
Or she had a transphobic little misstep there. But her song Sexual Revolution is like a great, you know, kind of like put on that song and like pick up this book. Yeah, it really is.
Freak flag fi.
It really is. And you know what's so funny? Because I wasn't able she did a performance of it at the VH1 Vogue Fashion Awards here in New York City. It was on TV, obviously. And I can't find a copy of that anywhere. And a bunch of my girlfriends were in it because she hired like models and different people, but also a bunch of drag queens and trans performers to be on stage with her. And, you know, like everybody's like just basically an orgy on stage. And it's gone. And so, like, I can't find it. Anyway, anybody finds that,
if you are
let
listening
me know, 'cause
and
I'm
you have a
looking for
link,
it.
drop that in the Kiki, put that in the comments. We want to see it.
I want to see it so good. I need the nostalgia. Anyway, Sexual Evolution is our August book club selection, and I'm super excited about it. Tell us more about it, you.
You know, it's funny that you bring up Sexual Revolution because this book has that in it, though not human. The book, I mean, what to say about it? Nature is kinky, and this book has got the receipts. The Sexual Evolution proves our queerness isn't modern or unnatural. It's 500 million years of evolutionary brilliance that made
Now that's a lot of eye
us.
cream.
She looks good for 500 million years old.
Hey.
We chose this book in part because it's part science, part rebellion, and a reminder that diversity doesn't just survive, it thrives. So read it and remember, nature has always been on our side. Ugh, I love this book. It was so weird, so exciting, so fun, so much stuff that I had no idea about whatsoever. I feel like every single page I was learning something absolutely new to me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What are some quotes that you loved?
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Let's read our favorite quotes.
This is my favorite quote. It's a little dense, so I'm going to go slow. Even a cursory glimpse of the sex lives of other animals demolishes any notion that sexual activity is narrowly purposed toward procreation. Animals use sex for bonding, social cohesion, and alliance building. They use sex deceptively, competitively, and financially. I mean, we've all been there. They even have sex for the same reason that we most often do it. Just for the fun. In no other species but humans is sex rigidly restricted by broad constructions like heterosexuality and monogamy. Nor was it so restricted for most of the history of our own species. That's right, we're not just going to be talking about animal sex, which, is its own book worth, but how it relates to us and our queerness today, and how it proves that nothing about you or I or any of you listening is unnatural. So, that just was so exciting to me, and Nathan really proves it. What about you? What was your favorite quote from the book?
I think my favorite quote was on page 56, and it says, "There are not many universal truths when it comes to biology, but one of them is that living things are diversity-generating machines." And that's really important, because I think when we talk about science, science in general, science does have specifics, right? But I think when conversationally we hear science used as a sort of like absolute be-all, end-all, determinative, sort of answer, conversation stopper. It's science, shut it down, or it's natural and it's binary and that's it and it's blah. And we learn from this book that, all these classifications are just that. They are classifications, but they are not absolute. And even in the situations where they've been, where we could even predict that they would have one outcome, here comes a mutation. Here comes something else that goes against the grain. And so I think that's a great thing to keep in mind with science.
Oh, absolutely.
That it's provable. Science is provable, but it's not absolute 100%.
No. And that it's more on our side than it is against us. When I was in high school, I can remember we had a biology teacher who was so homophobic, so misogynistic. He would creepily sexually harass all the girls in class, and he would tell us all the time, lesbians are going to take over the world, gay men are like a biological dead end, all of this, he just absolutely traumatized me and made me think biology was not for me, science was not for me, and that we were weirdo freaks, unnatural. And then you read a book like this and you're like, wait a second, everything he said was wrong. And everything that these people who constantly scream science, gametes, the binary, they know nothing. They know less science than we did in the 11th grade or whatever. But they think they are so ignorant. They think their ignorance is actually knowledge. And it is amazing when you get into it with a real scientist how much more interesting, diverse, weird, sexy, dirty, crazy nature is. And I just love that. I'm so excited by that.
Oh, me too. And it's honestly coming at the perfect time, because we are starting to, and we'll get into this with the interview a little bit later on, really, we're not starting to, but we are seeing, we have been seeing many examples over the years peeking in where conservatives and people who are anti-LGBTQ, also racists and other things, using science as an excuse to exclude queerness. And now we're starting to see it sort of come back in this damn Sydney Sweeney ad with her eugenics dip. And darling, if you're going to be working on genetics, you got to do the backside and the front side, honey, not just the front. Anyway, and so we'll be sure to ask more about that with our author a little bit later on. But, I want to tell you all, speaking of the author interview, which was fantastic, you all, of course, have a front row invite. This is a personal invite to the interview over on Alstora, meaning if you're watching this on YouTube right now, which you obviously are, you have an invitation to go over and join our Alstora book club so that you can get access to all the latest titles, all the queerest titles, historically related, of course, and more. You can get access to any title on the website. But our book club in particular brings you into a world where we talk about queer history and queer literature as they are intertwined. And
you are not going to want to miss the episode we just did with Nathan, because he is so smart. It
is so good. It's so good. Here is a quick clip, just a preview of that.
Welcome to our podcast.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for the invitation.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Okay. We got a question for you. It's just right off the bat. Who are you really? And what do you do?
Well, I'm a scientist. I'm a geneticist, genome scientist, and I spend most of my time either teaching genetics and biology or doing research in my lab. I just came from my lab. My students are busy working right now, but that's half of my professional life. I also write popular science, so I write articles and books for the general public, just because I love sharing my love for biology, and I feel like there's a lot of kind of misinformation, pseudoscience. There's also a lot of mythology. I think we'll get into that today about science,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
there's this idea that it's this like objective, robotic
Hmm.
pursuit of numbers and things. But science is actually a very humanistic pursuit, and I want to evangelize about that and kind of get people excited about science, particularly people who might not have been excited because they were turned off by poor science teaching in their past. A lot of people,
That's what we were
you
just
know,
talking about.
we have so much
We were
fun.
just talking about that.
Biology is so much fun, so I want to just share my love. So that's the other half of what I do, is try to write for the public and get people excited about science.
That is so cool, and that honestly
It's
was
good to
one of our
know.
first big questions because no shade on your profession, but it's not often that academics can also write a book that us non-academics can actually enjoy reading as much as we did the sexual evolution. So we wanted to know, how'd you come to write this, and what are those super cute book plates at the front of everybody's books?
Okay, I'll take the first question first. So I came to write this particular book because I've been teaching the biology of sex and gender here at John Jay College for 16, 17 years. And true story, my students kept bringing me stories from the literature, the scientific literature, of sex and gender diversity that the authors of the studies themselves simply ignored. They
What?
would just I'm serious.
How
So they
so?
would describe, some mating behavior in some species or whatever. And then in a footnote or in a chart in the data, it was very clear that they were only concentrating on some of the animals. Just the
Mm.
archetypes, the ones that sort of fit their expectations. And sometimes those are the largest groups, so most males or most females or whatever. But sometimes it wasn't even, they couldn't even hide behind numbers. Sometimes
Wow.
even the minority morphs, if you would, were even sometimes in the majority. So I started collecting all these stories. And then I was introduced to the work of Joan Roughgarden, who I talk about a lot in the book. She is really the pioneer
Mm.
in this area. I'm fit to maybe tie her shoes and that's it. But she's been doing this work for a long time, and she's been ringing this bell. And it's the same story of scientists sort of ignoring their own data, their own results, in favor of the narrative of this is what a male does. This is what a female does. This one story. And we
Mm.
see that throughout biology. They talk about the type specimen. In fact, actually, I think you can see up there, that is a 3D print of Neanderthal 1. It's called the type specimen of Neanderthal.
Oh.
And every skull that is discovered is measured against that, as if that is the ideal and everything else is a variant of the ideal. That's not how life works. Life loves creative diversity and different strategies and all kinds of variation. Variation's normal, natural, and it's important to. And so I kept collecting these stories, and I was, of course, concentrating on the sex and gender variation because that's what the class was. And I said, too many people are pigeonholed in their thinking about maleness, femaleness, all of this. But and
Hmm.
the science should be helping, and we're hurting. The scientists themselves are doing it wrong. We are collapsing diversity into buckets: male bucket, female bucket. And so, if
Mm.
anything comes out of my work with this book, it's that people start to see variation as normal, natural, expected,
Mhm.
beneficial, adaptive. It is
Mm.
not there. These aren't runts. These aren't exceptions. These aren't maladaptive. These aren't just conundrums. Like, what is that bird doing? That
Mm.
bird is doing what that bird is supposed to be doing. Anyway,
Oh, well, wait. Speaking of variation, though, the book plates. Tell us about these book plates in this
yeah.
book.
So I got the stack of 250 book plates. I'm supposed to be signing these to not to give away, but to the members of your book club. So they're all going to receive a signed book. And my child, they're 13 years old, very creative and always looking for an outlet. Always has a writing implement in their hand. Like, what can I doodle on? and they started writing little smiley faces on the book plates, on the signatures in the corner. And of course, they weren't doing the same smiley face every time. Everyone was different, which I was like, wow, that's the theme of the book, actually, is that everybody's different. There's no right or wrong way. There's lots of ways to do this. And so every one of the book plates for everybody who gets a book will get a different smiley face done by my non-binary child, in creative diversity and variation is built into this. This kind of just happened by accident, but I thought it was adorable. So
we love it. And now you
life
at home,
imitating science, imitating art, imitating life, and imitating science.
Precisely.
And they're collector's items now. So when that kiddo is famous, you have a unique, one-of-a-kind early work of juvenilia.
An early work of Cinder Cifuentes Lents. And that's what I said too. I was like, honey, you know you're going places. So people are gonna love to have this.
Oh my gosh.
So good. So good. Oh my
So
God.
good.
I
So
just love this.
fantastic.
And I hope that
Yeah.
everyone at home takes what he said and uses this the next time you get into a fight with someone who calls you unnatural or who says God made Adam and Eve. Like, no. School them on the actual science, please, and use this book to do it.
It's the truth. It's the truth. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you click like and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, please. It really does. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it really does help us. And click that notification bell so you can see when our next interview and podcast episode is going to be coming out. We also have some new changes that we're going to be announcing soon to the podcast, but we'll get on that a little bit later. But in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in.
See you next month.